Hey everybody, my name is Scott Ham, and I'm going to talk to you all a little bit about service and my experience of service here at Bellarmine. Before I came to Bellarmine, I went to a public middle school named Union Middle School in Los Gatos. In that school, I never really was ever exposed to service or the idea that people needed my help because I was sort of, as they like to say, ignorance is bliss, and I had grown up in a family that was blessed to be well off, and I didn't have to worry about such things as having a roof over my head or food on my plate. I just sort of assumed that everyone had what I had, and I just sort of wasn't exposed to everything that everyone else was. At the time, I thought everyone was in the same situation, and poverty was just like a foreign concept to me, and I had no idea that people around me just blocks away from me were struggling to make ends meet. So when I came to Bellarmine freshman year and I heard that I had to do service and that I had to do 15 hours of service a year, I was like floored. I was just shocked that they were making us give up 15 whole hours of our year just to help some people. And my freshman year, I just sort of looked at it as a chore. I didn't look at it as anything else. And looking back on that, that's something that I definitely regret. I sort of treated it as something that I had to do, not something that I needed to do or wanted to do. It was something that I was being forced by the school to participate in, even though I didn't really want to. So I volunteered for the first time at Baccarat Middle School, which many of you will have the opportunity to do. I actually had a really fun time. I went down there and I worked with some of the kids who were in first, second grade, and they're all bilingual. And I was able to play some soccer with them at recess, help them with their math, and I was able to hear some of their stories and we even talked about how we like to play Black Ops together, and how they like to play Black Ops, and they even invited me to come play with them one time, but online, of course. I didn't actually go talk to them, or go to their house. But even though I had such a great time, I still looked at it as a chore. I didn't look at it as something that I wanted to do. But that started to change my sophomore year when I volunteered at Hope Services, which is a place where people who have developmental disabilities, mental or physical, are allowed to are lucky enough to go there to work and make some money to prepare them for real life jobs in the economy. I was able to go and make friends with a woman who was stuck in a wheelchair and couldn't move her legs or anything below her waist at all, and we just sort of sat there. We didn't talk a whole lot, but we played Uno for like an hour straight, and it was just an incredible experience because I was able to. I just saw how happy she was that we were all here. She would just look over me and smile sometimes, even though we weren't really doing anything. We were just hanging out, but it was just incredible that she still saw us as just like something that made her so happy, and we were able to give that to her. But the moment of my Bellarmine career that has sort of transformed my outlook on service is the immersion trip that I went on this past summer. So I went on the Appalachia immersion deep into the heart of West Virginia, and I know what you're thinking. Why would you ever want to go to the middle of the Appalachian Mountains? And I thought that too at the time. I was completely freaking out whether or not I should go on this trip, but the moment I stepped foot onto the farm where we were staying, called Nazareth Farms, and they welcomed us in with hugs, and they called us their family, and that was our home. It was just amazing to walk into, but that wasn't the best part at all. The best part was helping the people of West Virginia. Every day we would get up and we would go to a person's home who were economically disadvantaged and couldn't afford home repair by a professional. And we were able to go and repair their houses, be it doing new roofing, doing new siding, putting up a fence. We were able to do anything that they needed to, and they were able to do it without having to spend a whole lot of money. And it was just amazing to see the joy on their face. The one person that stuck out to me from that experience, the specific service experience, was a woman named Barbara who lived in a house that's probably like the size of your room, maybe. It's not huge. It's maybe 40, 50 feet long. That'll be a really big bedroom if that's your bedroom. But we had to go and put on new roofing for her, and we had never met her before in our lives, and we probably won't ever see her again. But as soon as we arrived, she immediately welcomed us into her house and gave us homemade sweet tea and cookies. And I even had sweet tea. And personally, I hate tea, but I still drank it because it was incredible. But just the hospitality that she showed us and showing us how grateful she was for us being there was just amazing to see. And it's sort of floored me to see that we had that much of an impact on her. But it really had more of an impact on me because I realized that doing service was something that I should really enjoy, not just something that I have to do. So at this point in my Bellarmine career, I am completely excited to do more service hours. I'm already I'm already past my required 30 hours by 15, and I'm definitely going to do some more. My goal is to get to 100 hours. Just being able to bring joy to people who are in need is just an incredible feeling, and I never would have experienced that if I hadn't come to Bellarmine. Like I said before, I was never exposed to it, and I probably would still be ignorant to the fact that people are out struggling just to have things that we consider basic. And the Bellarmine Service Program exposed that to me, and it's just a blessing that we have this opportunity to go and help everyone. So I would highly, highly, highly encourage all of you to please do as much service as you can. I mean, you might not recognize it at first, but you're really helping someone and touching someone just by being there and showing that you care. I hope that this talk sort of opened your eyes to the Bellarmine CSP program, and thank you for listening.